Good morning. Welcome to 10 Minutes on the Edge with Dr. CeeJay Adams. We are going to do 5 minutes of pre-reading from my latest blog before we go into our 10 minutes of dialogue. This is a 4-part series on thriving on the evolutionary edge of enlightenment. This was week 3 and we're looking at section 3. So the story that I brought forward in this blog on communicating across the paradigm divide came from Genesis, and it's the story of the Tower of Babel, where the people spoke one language. They came together anytime they wanted something, they put their minds together, and it would be done. And so they came together and they said, let's create a tower that goes all the way up into the heavens so that we'll make a name for ourselves and we will not be scattered across all the world. And then it is said that God looked down and didn't like that and said, yes, they could communicate. They were of one mind, and this is what they created. And so he came down and he said, let us go down and convert and confuse their communication. And so they all began to speak different tongues. And so then in the last 2, I've been giving the keys to the journey of the enlightenment path out of that teaching. And so now we are going to go into the reading that'll prep us for key number 3. Competing worldviews reduce productivity and creativity. Collaborating worldviews expand creation. Would you rather be happy or right? Oops, I totally lost it, guys. Sorry, one moment here. It clicked off. All right. Would you rather be happy or right? That is a question often asked by personal development leaders worldwide. On the surface, it appears almost too simple to invest much time into that question. But even hidden within the question are competing worldviews. Those who would battle to be right hold a perspective that there is a right or a wrong way to do things. They value a structure that makes one a loser and another a winner. Their security is built around highly defined dualistic thought patterns. This group attaches its senses to value and security, to form and rules. Often their time is spent increasing their academic or intellectual capacity with less attention to social and emotional intelligence. Many also have a strong attachment to a specific faith path or moral perspective. Being happy is a priority is a worldview most held by those who are more communally oriented and recognize the value of peace and love among people. Perhaps at one time they were in the gotta be right community for a while, but now understand that life is about more than adherence to concepts and constructs. They are more committed to the content of an experience than the form. Many within this group hold the philosophy that life is short and should be lived to its fullest. Their desire is to remove any obstacles to their experiences, thus often feel confined by black and white thinking or rules. The experience you desire will determine which worldview you adhere to most. All worldviews are on a continuum, offering a wide spectrum of variations. One person may hold rigidly to world definitions, but be really flexible around religious tenets. Another may be highly religious around interpreting rules of society and religion, yet have great flexibility around styles of communication. To presume where another is on this spectrum can lead to miscommunication, conflict, and even violence. In the movie Arrivals, an expert linguist is brought in to communicate with aliens. She is one of several around the world, all attempting to communicate. As trust builds, the aliens begin to draw symbols that represent their language. The world's survival hinges on her ability to communicate with them. Over time, she discovers a major error others have made in interpreting the aliens. They are on the brink of war because one interpreter fixated on a symbol to represent war, rather than recognize the aliens meant as the symbol for tool. The aliens did not know that the word weapon represented a tool of destruction. In their innocence, they adopted the human word. It was only through reading the emotions and the social behaviors of the aliens that the U.S. linguist knew that the aliens were not meaning the same thing as the humans. They were too trusting and generous with their attention to be ready for battle. Key number 3 is listen for the content of the story, not the constructs. Allow for deeper connection and more accurate communication. Again, key number 3, listening for the content of the story, not the constructs, allows for deeper connection and more accurate communication. Welcome everyone to 10 Minutes on the Edge, and now we are up at the 10 o'clock or in Eastern Time, 12 o'clock hour, and I am Dr. CeeJay Adams. That was the third section of this week's blog and key number 3, which we're going to talk about. Don't know if you saw the meme I put out with 2 ponies nuzzling with each other, and on the fence behind them it said, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. So before we have any more dialogue, I'm going to invite you to spend a minute with me, feeling my heart, feeling your heart. Hello, Berna and Rafaela and Matthew. I see all of you, and I'm so excited to have you here. Just welcoming your hearts to this experience. Welcoming your souls. So I want to engage in the conversation of what's the difference between competing worldviews and collaborating worldviews. So the subtitle of the section I just read says, competing worldviews reduce productivity and creativity, and collaborating worldviews expand creation. Hi Angie, welcome. Good to see you. In the story of Babel, it said that God came down because what was happening was that the people were communicating so well that anything they desired was going to happen. Anything they desired was going to be created. I think that's a really powerful tool for us to recognize that if I'm actually willing to come to complete, authentic, transparent communication with others. That anything I desire, anything we co-desire, is going to happen. I mean, that's the whole story behind what was happening before the Tower of Babel, right? And so, what would happen if instead of getting lost in the question of, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? Right? Rather than getting stuck in, do we follow rules or do we seek freedom? If instead we let the entire spectrum come to the table, vulnerably open to receiving the entire perspective, so that as we heard every perspective on the spectrum, we understood so much more, and therefore were able to call into presence that which we desire. So I think about this and I say, well, what do I desire? And for myself, I have an acronym that tells me what I desire. I desire that environment in which everyone experiences peace, unity, respect, prosperity, loving kindness, and ever-increasing awareness in all areas of their life. And they experience that because we as a community listen, observe, validate, and embrace each other as one. And so that acronym is Purple Love, right? So I desire purple love. If I truly desire purple love, then the more that I learn to speak your language, the more that I learn to communicate fully with you and you with me, the more likely purple love is to happen. You know, based on the story of the Tower of Babel. Right? And based on so many other things we've seen where it says, you know, if two or more agree together, or we've seen what happens with the combination of energies and the synergistic and exponentially higher results that we get. And so everything would evidence that that's true. And yet we have this behavior, this habit of allowing worldviews to compete. And when worldviews compete, often they're competing because they think they want to be more productive, win, you know, be the best at. But the truth is that competing worldviews actually reduces productivity and creativity. We are less productive in life. We have less of the fullness of life when we are stuck and trying to get our worldview heard by the world, and what I call worldview conversion, right? When we're stuck in trying to get others to see life our way. Matthew, you're absolutely right. We have already been to that place of complete open communication. We are that place of complete open communication. We are that place of vulnerability. What we aren't right now is aware of it. Many people aren't aware of it. And we can know we're not aware of it if we see another's worldview as inconsistent with ours, as less valuable than ours, or more valuable than ours. A couple weeks ago, I put on my Facebook status, no one needs to awaken. I need to awaken to others. No one needs to awaken. I need to awaken to others. Well, what does that mean, right? came to me, and so I'm asking the question in my divine dialogue, what does that mean? And I was immediately given the opportunity within less than 24 hours to look at someone and my history with this individual and understanding everything I know about this individual to say, wow, that person's soul path is to do physical mastery, perfect body, physical job, extreme sports. Physical mastery is really part of that person's soul journey. Intellectual mastery is part of that person's soul journey, right? When I could see that those aren't a match for my soul's, my soul's, like on the ascension path, that's, if I could spend 24/7 dealing with that, that's what I would do. And so we were responding to the world in two very significant ways. Neither of us right or wrong, both of us perfectly in accord with our soul's journey. And a lot of times we attach our soul's journey to our worldview and believe that if another's worldview doesn't match ours, then we are, we need to convert them so that their souls will be happy. Begin to observe people and see if you can identify what maybe their soul lesson is. Because we have infinite soul opportunities in every moment. So my soul came for relationship alchemy, to be a relationship alchemist. What'd your soul come for? Right? How are you creatively expressing what your soul came for? It's about the more we listen to our heart, the more we stop doing semantic stew, the more we do our own alignment, the more we recognize how truly one we are with each other. Our time is up again, my beautiful loves. Celebrate your magnificence. Because when you celebrate your magnificence, you celebrate my magnificence. We are one, and I love you so much. And Angie, I see that comment there too, that you are accepting all perspectives of oneness and love and kindness. Yes, let's do that today. Let's find our way back to collaborating for expansion and creativity. Expand your happiness today. I love you.